Hi folks, Ryan Dalton here. Today I'd like to talk about my book, No Excuses, Play Like a Champion. So, the mindset of a champion. People with a champion mindset are goal-oriented, go-getters attitude. They know what they want, they go after it, refuse to give up, no matter how tough the goal is. Do you know that little voice in your head? You might think it'd be your best friend and would never steer you wrong, but it isn't always right or knows what's best for you. You can still win the battle and take charge of your mind by declaring war on your mind. Like Jocko, the podcast star, says in his online sessions, so when you hear a little voice that tells you to give up, it's too hard to go back to sleep, don't give the vote, or don't give that thought energy. Instead say, no excuses, play like a champion. And when you say it, mean it. Assert it, get it done. In this video, you'll learn material to learn tricks, traits, hacks, backed with science and good reason, and what to do, and the importance you need to take control of your mind and your life if you want to reach that champion status. So now at the moment, it might seem like your mind is comparable to a drunken monkey, going from one shiny thing to the next. It's about time to call yourself on your own shit. The thought is the starting point of gaining control. When you say it, I think you should mean it, and you should mean it. It's something to say to yourself. It could be an image, it could be an audio, it could be a thought. It affects your emotions, environment, ultimately your circumstances. I've applied these concepts through thought control, your own thoughts. I used the thought, no excuses, when I was in sports as a youngster, thus putting the energy and effort it took to win the game, from shooting hoops on the basketball court to championship games in hockey. The thought of being competitive was ingrained for me from a young age. Another trait and mindset is when you have the cold or flu, I found myself performing better. No excuses. No excuses, play like a champion. Many times, no exception has been my mantra. When I quit smoking 6 years ago, I kept running lines in my head like that. You're a non-smoker, believing you're a non-smoker, acting like a non-smoker. And yeah, it's one of my greatest accomplishments, quitting smoking. Next, here are some ideas to develop the champion mindset. First one that comes to mind is to find a way to boost your confidence. By remembering past wins, building up beliefs compared to how we compare it to a table. Tabletop is the idea, references are the pegs. The more references, the sturdier the table. Motivate yourself to be a champion. Cultivate that feeling, that frame of mind. Remember that motivation comes and goes, like the winds of times. And it's discipline that gets you there. You can't rely on motivation all the time. You got to rely on discipline. It's your best friend. It'll carry you through all the tough times. Another idea to develop the champion mindset, set goals. Smart goals, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-oriented. Write it on a blackboard or whiteboard. And yeah. As soon as you write down those goals, take a step towards it. Could be setting up an appointment, making a phone call, but just get the ball rolling. Sort of like saying grace. Remember your goals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Remember. The other one is feed your mind. Books, nonfiction books, fiction books if they teach you a lesson, YouTube vids. I'm all about the YouTube vids. It's very palatable content. And yeah. Next chapter is qualities of a champion. First, work ethic. Because it totally sums up the effort you give. And you can always go harder. You always run faster. You always lift heavier. So I would be the hardest person working in the room. Like Dwayne Johnson says, The Rock. Next is the wild card, attitude. Because of the qualities, attitude has no ceiling. And yeah, good attitude will get you through most stressors. Also build up your stress tolerance. Like David Goggins, the YouTube star, and Navy SEAL, he's got a bunch of credentials. He works crazy hard. He calls it the calloused mind. Putting callous on his mind so he doesn't stoic. He's stoic in his thought process. And yeah. On the subject, the next one is self-discipline. The stick-to-it trait. It's where the rubber meets the road. It demands focused action. But you can always rely on it. Another trait is to be mentally strong, because you could be in the best physical shape ever, but if your mind isn't in the right space, I relate it to being headfast, not rigid, but fluid, enough to maneuver, but still rely on being mentally strong. So having heart for that as well. For example, the movie Rudy. That movie actually made me cry, but because he has heart. He has bigger heart than most guys, and he never quit. Did what he had to do, and now he's a legend. So finally, what makes a champion? Champions have many traits which determine their acquired practice talents. Here are some of those characteristics. A champion has courage to risk failure, knowing that setbacks are lessons to be learned from. You gotta take the shot. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky. A champion uses an event or game to showcase his hard work and talent, and ultimately to win. A champion trains their positive self-talk, the process of getting the body ready and engaged. Stay away from ants, automatic negative thoughts, because they'll bring you down. A champion actively creates a life of balance, moderation, and simplicity. Not everything in moderation, especially moderation. So to sum it all up, take stock of what you have learned, put together a comprehensive action plan with your challenges and what to do to control your thoughts and actions, and delegate if you have to. It's your responsibility to make something of your life. So be grateful. Remember, no excuses. Be like a champion. Thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Until next time.